Noah's phone buzzed at 8:40 a.m. He grabbed it faster than usual. Read the message, then deleted it without a word. "Everything okay?" I asked, buttering my toast. "Just Mom. Family's doing a reunion thing at the lake this weekend. Nothing special." Nothing special. The Fletcher family didn't do casual. They planned Christmas 3 months in advance. Nothing with them was ever just nothing special. "Which lake?" I asked carefully. "The usual spot." "Just the old crowd, golf boring, stock market talk." "You'd hate it," I remembered that weekend. His father had explained municipal bonds for 2 hours. His mother critiqued every dish. His sister took 47 photos of her salad. He wasn't wrong. I'd been bored out of my mind. "Maybe I could come for part of it," I suggested for just a second. Something flickered across his face. Fear, panic, gone so quickly I almost convinced myself I'd imagined it. "Babe, you'd be miserable." Besides, didn't Dana and Nell want to go? Skiing? That was true. I'd been on the fence, feeling guilty about leaving Noah alone, but if he'd be with family anyway, I guess I could call them. Perfect, we both get to have fun. Something still felt wrong, but I couldn't put my finger on what. The Fletcher family had never quite accepted me conversations that stopped when I entered rooms. Inside jokes I wasn't part of, holiday traditions. That happened when I wasn't around. After 5 years of marriage, I still felt like Noah's wife, not family. I called Dana during lunch. "So about that ski trip, ... Oh my gosh, yes. The snow's supposed to be perfect. Are you free?" "Noah's got a family thing, so I'm all yours." That evening I mentioned the ski trip while we cooked dinner. Noah was intensely focused on dicing carrots like it was the most important task in the world. "Sounds perfect," he said, not looking at me. "When are you leaving for the lake?" "Friday afternoon." "I'll be back Sunday night. Nothing too exciting." Something in his tone suggested he wouldn't tell them. I said hi. The ski lodge smelled like pine and cinnamon. Dana, Mel, and I claimed the corner table by the window. My cheeks were pink from the morning slopes, and I was warming my hands around. Hot cocoa. "You should post that picture I took of you on the summit," Dana said. "The lighting was incredible." I pulled out my phone. The photo was beautiful, me against snow-covered peaks, sunlight catching in my hair. I started typing a caption. About fresh powder when I saw it, a notification. Tagged photo from Noah's Aunt Carol. The preview read, "So proud of my youngest nephew's engagement." My finger hovered over the notification. Noah's family only had 2 sons. Marcus was younger, but he'd been dating Sarah for 3 years without mention of marriage. I tapped the photo. Everything inside me went cold. Carol beaming under a crystal chandelier. Round tables with cream linens, floral centerpieces, a dance floor. This wasn't a family reunion. This was an elegant, expensive party. The caption. "So proud of my youngest nephew's engagement." Marcus and Sarah, you're perfect together. What a magical evening celebrating love. My hands trembled. I zoomed in, looking for familiar faces. There was Noah's mother in the navy dress I'd helped her pick out, raising a champagne flute. And there, barely visible but unmistakably present, was Noah in a black tuxedo, embracing Marcus. Both grinning, I scrolled through tagged accounts, finding more photos. Noah's sister posted a carousel, her and Sarah embracing, a family group. Shot, Noah giving a speech at a microphone. My husband was giving a speech at his brother's engagement party. A party I knew nothing about. I called. Noah without thinking. Voicemail, I called again. Voicemail, then a text. "Can't talk?" 2 words. Like I was some telemarketer interrupting his evening, I walked to the bathroom, gripping the sink. Was I invisible to him? All those family gatherings where I felt like a stranger. All those times I'd convinced myself I was being oversensitive. This wasn't my imagination. This was real. This was a family choosing to celebrate without me, and my husband lying to my face. I walked back to Dana and Mel. Change of plans. I want to ski until they close the slopes. The next morning, we took the lift to the highest peak. At the summit, the world spread out in endless white. The sun was brilliant, making everything sparkle. "Let me get a picture," Dana said, positioning me with my back to the valley. "Look at me. Now turn your face to the sun." I closed my eyes, letting the warmth wash over my eyelids. When I opened them, Dana showed me the result. I looked peaceful. Genuinely content-worthy lines smoothed away by mountain air and sunshine. "Send it to me," I said. "I want to post it." Back at the lodge, I sat with the photo, trying to find words. Then they came without effort. Turns out the mountains were more welcoming than some families. I hit post. The response was immediate. Likes, comments, support from friends. Then my phone started buzzing differently. A direct message from Noah's sister. "What the hell is your problem?" My phone rang Noah's mother. I let it go to voicemail. She called again, a text from Noah. "You just had to make a scene." I started laughing sharp, bitter laughter. A selfie was a scene. Someone posted a video from the party showing Noah being pulled aside by his face tight with stress. In the background, Sarah dabbed her eyes while Marcus comforted her. More texts from Noah. "This is embarrassing. People are asking questions. Can you please just delete it?" Delete it. Like pretending I didn't exist was more acceptable than acknowledging I existed. I didn't delete it. Instead, I added a location tag. Summit Peak, where the air is clear and the view is honest. The drive home felt like descending from another world. Noah's car was already there when I arrived at 4:30, 2 hours. Early, he was standing in the kitchen, still in dress pants and a button-down, hair perfectly styled. Arms crossed, shoulders rigid. "You made everything worse," he said before my suitcase touched the floor. "Worse than what? Worse than lying to me? Worse than excluding me from your brother's engagement? You don't understand how complicated this is. Then explain it. Why couldn't I know about your brother's engagement?" Silence stretched between us. "Mom wasn't comfortable with the idea. She was worried you might not fit the vibe." "What vibe was that exactly? The vibe where your wife exists?" "That's not fair." "Fair? You think it was fair to let me pack your suitcase, slip a love note in your bag, while you knew you were going to a party I wasn't invited to?" His face went pale. "You went through my stuff? I put a note in your bag because I thought my husband would miss me? Clearly I was wrong. I found the note. It was sweet. But you have to understand." "No, I don't have to understand anything. What I want to know is what you think. Did you fight for me when your mother said she didn't want me there? Did you stand up for me?" The silence was deafening. He looked down at his hands. "It's complicated. You don't know how my family operates. And if you push too hard, what, they'll disown you? Or would they just be mildly inconvenienced by having to pretend to like me for one evening?" I walked past him to the stairs. "I'm going to pack. You don't have to do this. We can work through this." I paused. "Can we? Because it seems like the only way we work through this is if I pretend it didn't happen." "That's not true. When was the last time you chose me over them? When was the last time you put my feelings first?" He didn't answer. In our bedroom, I packed methodically, taking only what was truly mine. Noah appeared in the doorway but didn't enter. "The note," he said quietly. "I did see it. I carried it with me all weekend." I found the pink sticky note on his nightstand, crumpled now. The little heart looked childish, naive. I placed it on his pillow not as a token of love, but as evidence of who I'd been before learning the truth. When Nell's headlights swept across our driveway, I picked up my suitcase. "I never meant for it to happen this way," Noah said. "I know, but that's the problem. You never meant for me to find out at all." Living with Mel was surprisingly comfortable. Her apartment was small but filled with warm light and the organized chaos of a life fully lived. 3 days later, my cousin Rebecca reshared my mountain photo with her own caption. "Some truths burn brighter than lies. Proud of my girl." Within hours, the photo had been shared 6 more times. People were commenting, adding fire emojis, supporting a truth I'd simply decided to tell. Tuesday morning, my phone rang. "Is this Avery Fletcher?" "This is Jennifer Walsh from Walsh & Associates. We handle marketing for local businesses. I'm calling because one of our clients mentioned some social media activity affecting their business relationships." My stomach dropped. "Are you asking me to take down my posts?" No, actually, we've had 3 companies reach out asking who you are. Your story is resonating, and they want to know if you're available for marketing consultation. Authenticity sells, asterisk by Thursday, the picture was clearer. Noah texted, "Thanks to your little stunt, I lost the Brightside account. This is affecting my livelihood." Asterisk, I typed back, "Your choices, not mine." Asterisk, the messages started trickling in. Wednesday, becoming a flood by weekend. Women sharing their own stories of exclusion, thanking me for speaking up. Noah's cousin Emily called, "I'm so sorry. We weren't told about the party until last minute. When I asked about you, Aunt Patricia said, 'Family only.' I should have stood up for you." Asterisk, the worst part? Marcus told me Noah never argued when Mom said she didn't want you there. He just nodded and said it would be easier. Asterisk, easier. My marriage reduced to what was easier for everyone else. Asterisk, while Noah's world got smaller and complicated, mine expanded. I joined yoga classes, had real dinners with friends, took my niece to movies. Life without Noah wasn't lonely. It was the quiet that comes from not walking on eggshells. Asterisk, that photo stayed on my Instagram. Not as revenge, but as evidence that when people try to erase you, you don't have to cooperate with your own disappearance. Asterisk, 1 month later, Noah showed up at Mel's apartment. "Avery, please. I know you're angry, but we can work through this." I opened the door just enough to see him, same dark hair, same brown eyes, but smaller somehow, defeated. "Can we talk?" Asterisk, I looked at this man I'd shared a bed with for 5 years, who felt like a stranger now. Asterisk, no, asterisk, I can change. We can go to counseling. I'll talk to my family. Asterisk, Noah, you had 5 years to talk to your family. You had 5 years to choose me. You didn't. Now you want to fix it because there are consequences you don't like. Asterisk, I closed the door. Not with anger, just closed it like finishing a book. Asterisk, 3 days later, an email from Noah's mother. "We didn't mean to hurt you. We just didn't think it would matter since you never seemed interested in family events anyway." Asterisk, 27 words that apologized while blaming me for my own exclusion. But the telling line, "We just didn't think it would matter." They didn't think I would matter. I didn't reply. Their opinion had no power over my life unless I gave it that power. Asterisk, 2 weeks later, I returned to the mountains alone. Same resort, same trails, same summit, but I was completely different. The woman who'd stood here before had been hurt, angry, shocked. The woman standing here now was something else entirely. Asterisk, I opened my arms to the sky, felt the sun on my face, solid ground. Beneath my feet, asterisk, "I forgive you," I whispered. Not because Noah deserved forgiveness, but because carrying anger was like carrying stones, asterisk, "But I release you." Those words felt like wings unfurling, asterisk, I didn't take a photo this time. This moment was just for me, the woman who had walked away from erasure and found herself on a mountaintop, arms open to a future that belonged entirely to her. Asterisk, my story didn't end in heartbreak. It ended in something better, strength, clarity, and the knowledge that I was no longer the outsider looking. I was the woman who had walked into her own light and found it warm enough to live in forever.